Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about this ORICO Thunderbolt 5 enclosure. It's the X50 model, and ORICO did send me this to test and review. And so I just wanted to quickly preface what I wanted to do with this device. And I really wanted this to work, but it doesn't work with all my devices that I've tested. And so none of them allow me to do this. But what I really wanted to do actually was leverage an M.2 adapter inside this enclosure with an Oculink conversion, and that was to go into the Oculink of my eGPU for my Ally X or Xbox Ally X or G1 or any of my devices, to be able to give it just a higher clock boost through that Thunderbolt 4 port than the regular Thunderbolt 4 cable. So that was the idea. As you can see, it does trigger kind of on, and it almost wants to detect it, but it doesn't work with this enclosure. So you can see here it says, oops, that something went wrong. So unfortunately, that use case is not an option with this enclosure, but we'll get into what you can actually do with this. Now I'll quickly go through what you get in the box, and that would be, this enclosure, and the enclosure is where you slot your NVMe inside. And then of course, like if you have the backplate on, you're not gonna be able to fit one with a heatsink, but I'm gonna use a heatsink one today for our testing. And the thermal pad that comes inside, you put that right on top of the NVMe, and then of course you close it up on here, and then there's a screw, so it does fit nice and tight. In here, it feels safe and secure. It's a heavy metal construction, so I don't think that you'd have any issues, if it drops or something like that. Like everything feels very secure in here. The other thing it comes with is a Thunderbolt 5 cable. So if you don't have a Thunderbolt 5 device, or at least a very minimum a Thunderbolt 4 port, it will not read. So it doesn't it's not backwards compatible. It won't register. If I plug this into my laptop from 2023, which is a high-end gaming laptop, it doesn't have a full Thunderbolt 4 port. So this is the error message that I get there. So just be aware that you need at very minimum a Thunderbolt 4 port, but to really take advantage of this, you'd need a Thunderbolt 5 port device, which I do not have. But I'll do some testing today of what I do have, which is a Thunderbolt 4 port, and you can make your own conclusions of whether this is worth it for you right now, or maybe wait until you have a Thunderbolt 5 device that you can plug it into if this is something that you're interested in. The drive that I have running in here is an NM790 Lexar 4 terabyte, and this has, as you can see, 7,400 megabits per second for read-write speed. So here is a crystal disk mark to just show what kind of speeds you can expect on that Thunderbolt 5 cable, but through a Thunderbolt 4 port, which again caps it. So whatever we get here, you can expect to get closer to double on a Thunderbolt 5 connection, which right now I think you can only get that on maybe a MacBook and a very few amount of devices. As you can see, the write speed is around 3,700, and that's going to be the max cap that you're basically going to get on a Thunderbolt 4 port. So the crystal mark test is done. You can see what the results are there. Again, I confirmed with ORICO just to make sure, but this is what you should expect with a Thunderbolt 4 connection. Now the next thing I'm going to do is take Borderlands 4, which is 71 gigs, and I'm going to copy it over just from here and then move it over to the actual drive, and I will start the timer here. Now there is some value when you need an enclosure that's high speed to be able to run some games or to transfer files very fast. Now, if you have a device like me where it's a Thunderbolt 4 port, you're really not going to get the full max out of this. This would be more for like a future state if you plan on having a Thunderbolt 5 device down the road and you want an enclosure that's going to be able to support those types of speeds. If you don't have that, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to pick one up for your devices, because you're going to get a capped speed at that Thunderbolt 4. So if you do want one of these, again, make sure your device has a Thunderbolt 4 port at minimum, otherwise it won't work. Or if you have a Thunderbolt 5 port device, then great. This is going to work really well for you right off the bat to be able to support your device, and it should keep it pretty cool with the temperature control measures that they have in here for heat conduction. I am disappointed that I wasn't able to do the Oculink piece because I thought that would be a really cool feature. But for me, all I can use this for right now is to be able to transfer data. So that's going to be the only use case that I can use for it, which is what it was intended for. It wasn't intended for the other piece. But if you're looking for this type of enclosure, will it work for a Thunderbolt 5? Yes, it'll work great. Will it work for a Thunderbolt 4? Yes, with a little asterisk, knowing that you have to have a true Thunderbolt 4 port connection. So if you have something that says it's Thunderbolt 4 compatible, it may not work. So just know that going in. If you want to pick one of these up, I'll leave a link to it in the description, and you can decide for yourself after seeing this video whether or not this is a good fit for you. ORICO did send this to me to review and test again, but no money exchanged hands. All opinions are my own honest opinions. Hopefully this was helpful and at least informative for you to make a good decision on whether this is a good fit for you. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, leave me a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Take care till the next one.